Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to episode 5 of Nariyama's Let's Play Minecraft using Direwolf20's mod pack. As you can see, a whole lot got done between episodes. I cleared out the rest of the marble and built this structure. I did this off camera because it was a lot of manual building, and quite frankly, placing the same block over and over again is not terribly interesting. I did put some glass in the ceiling because we will need to be able to see the sky for some of the items that we're going to make this episode. But you notice I moved the machine line over here. I want to talk a little bit about this because I forgot to talk about it last episode. So I mentioned that there's augment slots. This is the one place where I've changed the mod pack. I went into the config files and changed the number of augments you get per upgrade. Normally you get one augment slot per upgrade up to the tier 4 machine using the resonant upgrade. Because resonant is fairly difficult to get, you have to be pretty solidly in the mid game to do that. I thought that was a little low of a payoff, so instead, I have tier 1 is 1, tier 2 is 2 still, because both of those are pretty easy to get. Tier 3 is 4 augment slots. So the Signalum tier will give us 4 slots to augment the machine, and then the Resonant tier will give us 9 augment slots, which will significantly improve these machines. You can really get some good performance out of them then, which will actually, really all that does is just makes them useful until later in the game. Again, I didn't think that was a terribly bad or overpowered addition to the game. Some other things that I changed, I made our entrance over here. I did some cool little pattern here. So notice this is a pressure plate with an iron door. So this will give it a redstone signal. It'll open. When I come out, it'll close automatically. Right? Same thing. Now, this isn't as secure as it could be. Wooden pressure plates can be activated by hostile mobs. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to grab some dark steel. This is something added by Ender.io. We're going to make a couple of dark pressure plates. Dark pressure plates can only be activated by players. So we'll come up here. We will quick break this. Oh, no, now we can't get out. Dark pressure plate, come out, break this one. And dark pressure plate. So there we go. Now only we can activate that door. Very cool. And of course, iron doors are pretty hard to break down for zombies. Another thing that I wanted to show everyone, I showed this in the version of the last episode that didn't get recorded, so I figured I should do it now. You can place things directly out of a dank null. So select the item by holding down shift and scroll wheeling to cycle through the items, and then just right click to place them. So we can plant our trees just like that. Otherwise, a couple other things I wanted to show about the building. So one of the things I found when building a structure, using even just a little bit of a different block for accent really improves the look of the structure. So notice most of this is brick, but I did use a little bit of granite with, I used that chisel to turn it into one of the cosmetic versions, and it really improves the look, I think. Also, the glass in different places here. Don't forget to light up your ceilings. If you don't, mobs will spawn on top of your building. And particularly in a situation where I've got a little hole in the top here, that could be awkward. So yeah, don't forget to light that up. If we press F7, we can see the light level overlay and everything is good. Now, an interesting little tidbit. Notice that the light level overlay only goes on this row, but not on this row. That's because mobs will never spawn on a half block. So if you actually wanted to, you could prevent mob spawn simply by putting down half blocks all over the place that you want mobs not to spawn. And this is a trick people use in skyblock maps to prevent mob spawns on their skyblocks. Anyway, just thought I'd really quick show that. So let's head back down, turn off the light level overlay because we don't need that anymore. And let's see what we're going to do this episode. So the first thing what we really want to do is start progressing with Astral Sorcery. But in order to do that, we need to upgrade some of our things. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of gadgets that will really seriously improve our quality of life. So, I mentioned sort of, what things should you be working towards. The early game is all manual, right? Manual mining, manual mob farming. If you want drops from mobs, you have to go out and find them and kill them manually, and manual building. So what we're really working towards is automating some of those things. Eventually, we'll get an automated mob farm. We'll get automated mining, and one of the things that we can start working on right now is some better building tools. Interestingly enough, the mod that this uses was made by Direwolf20 himself, called Building Gadgets. And both of these, so the Building Gadget allows you to place multiple blocks at a time in different patterns that are useful. And the exchanging gadget basically is a swapping tool. So you point it at a block or a set of blocks, and you right click, and it'll put a block of your choice there and break the block that was there and put that in your inventory, which is really super nice. And we'll actually use this as a good sort of trick when we get into Botania to because Botania requires some specific blocks to be placed, and then they turn into other blocks, and we can just swap them out really fast with the exchanging gadget. The other thing we're going to need is a better hammer. So if we run down to that spot down in the mine, I also widened out the mine stairway. But if you recall back in episode 2, we found some rock crystal, but it requires a certain level of mining to get it. And I think it requires obsidian level. So we come down here, and I think the first one was right down here. Yeah, okay. So pickaxe level obsidian. Notice up in the top of the screen, it shows us that we can't mine that as a red X, right? So if we were to break this with our current hammer, it would not give us the rock crystal. That would be bad. So we need to improve it. And to do that, we're going to make a sharpening kit. What's really nice is the smeltery makes it fairly easy to make an obsidian sharpening kit, because obsidian is a alloy of lava and water, which means you stick a bucket of water in there, you stick a bucket of lava in there, it makes the obsidian, and then you can use that for your molds. So let's go ahead and get all of that ready. Now I have the water and lava reservoirs in here. The other thing we're going to do is improve our axe and excavator. So these you don't really need a whole lot of speed on, because they already work pretty quickly. But things you can put on them, you can put luck on them, just like your other tools. The other thing you can put on them are emeralds and diamonds. So a diamond is going to give you 50% more toughness, and an emerald is going to give you a flat 500 more toughness. I guess it's 600. Looks like maybe that one's the 50%. Anyway, one of them's 500, one of them's 50%. Let's see. 86. That one's 500. This one is 50%. So another 700-ish. There we go. Use up a diamond and a emerald on each, and now they will last much longer. You might ask, why do you want fortune on an axe? Well, it gets you more saplings, or other sorts of fruit drops if the tree drops fruit. So there we go. The fortune on the axe is really not as necessary, but it is kind of nice to have it on your excavator, because it affects things like aquamarines when you shovel those up. Okay, so how do we get the lava and the water in the smeltery? Well, we use the drain, but we use it on a spot that doesn't have a faucet. So notice this drain doesn't have any faucets on it. So I can right click, throw some water in there. I can do the same for the lava, and poof, it alloys. We get obsidian, and now we can make our sharpening kit. I think it only takes one. Let's see. Yeah, okay, good. It only took one. I forgot to turn the automatic thing off. All right, so now we have an obsidian sharpening kit. To put this on our tool, we need a piece of flint And what's really nice about the sharpening kits is they do not take an upgrade slot. So you'll notice on our hammer, we have no upgrades left, right? It doesn't say we have any upgrades left. All right, we can still sharpen it, right? And notice that in this one it says fortified obsidian as one of the traits. So there we go. Also notice I've done enough mining to get my fortune and looting up to level 3, so we get lots and lots of stuff for this. That's good because the rock crystal actually does take into account fortune on it. All right, so now we can get that rock crystal. I think that's probably the next thing we should go do. Oh, let me go put my sharpening kit pen in the way. Sorry. I just don't want to keep that in my thing here. Do I need either of those? No. All right. And we can probably get rid of those pressure plates, but for now we'll just stick them in here. I'll put this back here for repairing, and let's go get those rock crystals. So what's nice now is this will mine up to cobalt. So we can go to the nether, grab some cobalt, and upgrade the things. Oh, I did want to point something out. You'll notice as we run around, there'll be some blocks that look like they are out of place. That's not a good example. I'll show it down here. Because we're in an extreme hills biome, there is a thing that hides in plain sight. So the best example that I have is this spot right here. You notice that there's a square of blocks here that look like they probably should have gotten mined. Also, if you look at the tooltip, it says no tool. That's because this is a silverfish nest. It looks like stone, but when you break it, it creates silverfish. Silverfish are just nasty little critters that you have to kill, and not a whole lot of fun. What's nice about the hammer is that as long as it's not the block you are actually breaking with the hammer, like the one that you're targeting, if there's a silverfish nest next to it, it won't break and it won't create the silverfish for you. So that's kind of nice. All right, let's clear this out. Ooh, draconium ore. Don't mind if I do. All right. So clear this out a little bit, and we'll get our rock crystal. Now notice we broke 2 blocks, got 7 crystals. So that's good stuff. We'll go down here to the other one that we found, and there was a couple more as I recall, but we won't see them even with our resin wand in our hand unless it's nighttime. So at 3:45 we're just not going to see them. But this should be plenty to get us started. So 10 crystals, more than enough. And there were other nodes that we didn't excavate to that are down here. So all right, head back upstairs. Oh, I did want to show one other thing. This was the first set of diamonds that I found. So, you know, I think like Direwolf, I'll make it a tradition. The first diamonds that I find, I will mine on camera. So here we are. Diamonds. We didn't get the achievement because I'd already gotten diamonds from some of the villages that we visited, but there we go. First diamonds that I mined. Let's head back up. One of the other mods that we're going to take a closer look at here soon is Monk. I accidentally advanced the Monk 2 levels because I was mining and looking at the sun at the same time. So if you're down and you're mining and the sun is off in the distance, it still advances the 2nd level for you. And then the 3rd level was being underwater, and I had to go underwater to get some clay. But I have not done the 4th level, which if we pull up advancements, go to Monk, we can see the 4th level, we need to break 5 stone blocks. This one lets you mine with your hands, basically. Next one is pet 20 animals. It'll let you feed animals without food. But the one that we're really looking forward to is, I think, Monk level 6, the one after this, which makes you run for a long time. But when you do it, it vastly improves your run speed. So really good for making for exploration when we need to go do some more exploration. So we'll try and get that done first. All right. What was I doing? Ah, yes, rock crystal. So we have our altar. It's got a full bar of power. Now, normally during the day it wouldn't, but because we're underneath this collector crystal and the collector crystal is powering it, we get that full bar. Let's look at... we haven't done those yet, but we'll get there. Let's look at the Astral Tome and see what we need. So, we want to build a light well. And actually, we're going to probably want to build 3 to 4 of these. Alright, we need rune marble, chiseled marble, a rock crystal, and aquamarine. So if you recall, we turned all of our marble into other stuff, but then I went back and grabbed some others. So here's our rune marble. We'll take that. We'll grab regular marble to turn into rune marble, and we needed some chiseled. So I think we're going to make 4 light wells. Well, let's make 1 to start. Let's just make 1, and I'll probably just add some more when we're done. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Whoops. 2. And the chiseled marble, and then a rock crystal. Did I do that wrong? And not much. Chiseled, rock crystal, aquamarine. Ah. See? There we go. Okay. Now, the mechanic for the table is to right-click on it with the resonating wand. Now, you notice resonating wand is in my left hand. You can do a right-click with the resonating wand by sneaking first, and then right-click. Alternatively, I could just swap it out and right-click like that. There we go. Now, I'm going to break my torch there, because the light well needs a view of the sky. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it up here. And the reason we're going to put it up here is because we're going to draw stuff out of this and put it in a tank down here. Now I made another tank and filled it with some experience because my book had gotten full. So if we look, it's at 9,127 of 10,000. And 1,000 experience makes 20 buckets full of liquid experience, which is great because we're going to need that liquid experience for some other stuff. But that's the tank that we're going to use for liquid starlight as well. So let's look at this. It's the thermal tank. So thermal tank. There we go. We need a redstone servo, and then just some glass and copper. We'll take that. We'll stick it under here. And then if you remember, I said we needed some. We needed a different kind of fluid duct. So we need the hardened fluid ducts, which requires something that we don't have yet, and I'm kind of annoyed that I forgot about this. We need Invar, which we can make, but we also need hardened glass. Hardened glass is made using obsidian. Do we have any obsidian already? I don't remember if we got some out of a chest or something. Nope, doesn't look like it. So the easy way to make obsidian is to just pour some water on some lava. So let's go find a lava pool, since we already have a reservoir. And I'll show you kind of a quick way to mine up a bunch of obsidian. So remember, our hammer mines in a 3x3 pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little, whoops, wrong one. We're going to create a little containment field, if you want to think of it that way. Let's grab that. All right, so we've got some obsidian made here from pouring some lava on it, or water on it. I'll show you kind of, whoops, there we go. Makes obsidian, right? Unfortunately, you know, the lava actually is helping us because it's a light source, so we don't want to do that too much. But we need a 3x3 area, so we're going to do, where's my dank null? There we go. Let's get the cobblestone, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, whoops, 3. There we go. All right, so there's our 3x3 area. Let's light it up. We're going to pour out some water on top of this. And then we're going to mine it. And what will happen is, obviously, mining obsidian is slow, but notice our pickaxe can break it. It's got the little green check mark up there at the top. Any obsidian that's under this will get the obsidian that we mined, but any obsidian that's under it, the water will immediately, or sorry, any lava that's under it, the water will immediately turn into obsidian. Now, I don't think we really need any more right now, so let's pick up our block of water, but we could always come back down and do this some more. Obviously, the deeper the lava pool that you're using for this, the faster the process is. There are also blocks which will make obsidian for us if it has a supply of lava and water. Those are called igneous extruders from thermal expansion, and we will probably use one of those later in the game. But for right now, we don't need a ton of obsidian, we just need a little bit, so this is sufficient for our needs. Oh hey, it's nighttime. We could have gone and gotten more rock crystal, but that's okay. Let's sleep through the night. And let's make some hardened glass. So hardened glass is pulverized obsidian with pulverized lead. So we're going to put that obsidian in the pulverizer. We're going to get some lead. Oh, we don't have a whole lot. There we go. We're going to actually change the output here to the top. We're going to pulverize up some lead. And then we stick both of those in the induction smelter. And that makes us our hardened glass. I think this will make us 4 pieces, which is more than enough. There we go. All right. There are other things that we could use. So fused quartz is the same sort of hardened glass as the thermal expansion hardened glass. Fused quartz comes from Ender.io, but it requires nether quartz, and we don't have a whole lot of that. So let's just make some stuff with some hardened glass. There we go. And I don't have Invar. Do I have Invar over here? Yes. All right. We're going to go ahead and make 12 of these. We won't need 12 right now, but you know, we will eventually. So, all right, let's throw that there. And now throw those back in there. Now let's see if we can make some liquid starlight. So it still works during the day, it just works very slowly. So let's stick a rock crystal there. Now I could use aquamarine instead. The reason I'm not is because even though rock crystal is much rarer, the aquamarines break much faster. And eventually we will have a way of making effectively infinite rock crystals. So when we get to the point where we start growing crystals, the rock crystals become a much easier resource to get than aquamarines. Now notice something. This is accumulating in the light well, but it's not coming out. That's because the light well doesn't automatically push its inventory into something that it could drain into. We need to tell it to do that. To do so, we need something called a servo. Servos basically pull things out of other inventories. So there are a bunch of different little attachments to pipes and conduits that we can use. Servos pull stuff out. There are other ones. Let me pull up thermal here really quickly. Those are the servos. There are retrievers, which basically pulls things out, but you put it on the inventory you want it to go to. And then there's one more, and I can't remember where it is. It's a resonant retriever. These things, filters. Filters basically restrict what go into a particular inventory. So we'll stick the servo on here. We will tell it to ignore it, and now it drains out into the tank. And pretty soon here we will have a bucket full of liquid starlight. All right. These don't last forever. They will break eventually, but rock crystals break much more slowly than other things. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. We've gotten our light well. We've gotten our obsidian sharpening kit. Let's make our gadgets while we're waiting for nighttime. So we want the building gadget. and the exchanging gadget. I will kind of show off what these do. So, exchanging gadget, or building gadget. Building gadget lets us basically build using blocks from our inventory. What's really nice is he integrated this with the dank null because Dyer, like me, likes a dank null. The default is to build to you, so if I right click, I get cobble to then. Now, how I set that cobble was by shift and right clicking on that block. If I shift and right click on a different block, I can set it to something else. Notice I don't have any stone in my inventory, so it's saying I can't build to me with that. I did the same thing for, bricks, dirt, whatever. There is an undo function. I don't think it's set to start with, so let's go to the options really quick. Let's look up building. I want category. There we go. So undo is Shift Z. Okay, I guess that one's already set. And range rotate overlay is G. Mode switch is Shift C. Okay. So if we Shift Z, we will undo all those blocks that we just did, which is really nice. Now, there are a bunch of different modes, so let's take a look at those. Oh, sorry. If I hold down Shift and C, I can change what it does. So for example, a surface puts things on top. A horizontal wall will build a wall like this, right? Vertical wall will build a wall like this. Column, horizontal column, all that good stuff. For right now, let's leave it at build to me. And then we can change, let's not leave it build to me because I want to show what the range thing does. So the range thing just makes it bigger, right? And it goes up to 15, down to 1. So we'll leave it at 5. There is a reason for that. All right, and let's go back to build to me. The exchanging gadget, similarly, oh, we're out of power. Let's go throw this in the thing there. Okay, so the exchanging gadget will swap things out. So let's say I wanted to make this wall into cobblestone, right? We'll improve the range, right click, and poof, we have cobblestone. I think, oh, I can't undo that. Oh well. Do I have stone in here? No, but I have some over here. So we can swap that out again. There we go. All right. This is going to be really useful. It does break the blocks. You can give it the silk touch to change that. So we'll change all this dirt to stone to make that nice and uniform. We'll grab that. Right. So this is a really nice way to sort of, how did you get down there? All right, now I'm concerned. Monsters in the base. We spotted Imperial walkers. So that's one way to do that. All right, what we're really waiting for right now is for it to become nighttime. So we have the building gadget, we have the exchanging gadget. What we're going to do is we're going to change this into a... Ooh, I need a bucket. Let's stick these back in here for now. Sure. And let's get a bucket. Where's my iron? There it is. Okay, so we need a bucket because we need a bucket of liquid starlight. I'll toss all this in here. What that bucket of liquid starlight is going to let us do is make the next in the altar. So if we look at our astral tome, the starlight crafting altar requires a liquid starlight bucket. So we can go grab this, stick it in here. Okay. Next, what else did we need? We needed 2 chiseled, 4 pillars, and a rock crystal. Well, luckily we just got a bunch of rock crystal. We got chiseled and pillars in here. 2 chiseled, 4 pillars. Here we go. Now, this is going to require something else. And we're reaching the wrapping up point, so I'm going to do this before we change the altar. It needs a multi-block underneath it. This tells you all the blocks you need, and this shows you the pattern that they're in. So you can sort of click and drag to rotate and show things. It looks like marble arches, marble bricks, sooty marble, some pillars, some chiseled marble. The stuff underneath the pillars is chiseled marble as well, and that'll tell you all the different blocks you need. So let's grab that really quick. I got some sooty marble. We didn't need runed. We did need chiseled for our 8 of them. We need a bunch of pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some bricks, some arches. Do we have arches? We do have arches. Excellent. All right, so let's look at that pattern again, and this is where those gadgets come in really handy. So what we're going to do is we're going to break. Whoops. Notice I also made a pick. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. All right. Where's my resonating one? There it is. We want that to be in our offhand. Okay, so we're going to break this. And we're actually going to break this one too. We're going to put some sooty marble down. And then we're going to right-click on the sooty marble to put this here. Let's actually change this to tool range 1. That way we can sort of just click on them, right? And I'm going off of memory here from what I saw in the thing. Basically, what we're doing here is just putting these on, right? Now, we did need one more there. So, next we need bricks, marble bricks. We will break that piece, stick that there. Shift right click again, and here we go. Now, you might ask, why don't I just build this on top? Because we are actually going to need another structure, and I'm going to put that one on top. All right, let's look at our book now. So I make sure I do this right. Oops. Chiseled in the corners, okay. And then other stuff around. There we go. So we need chiseled right there. Okay. You know, I'm showing this on camera so that you can see sort of how the exchanging gadget makes this a lot easier. We'll go ahead and put our marble pillars down. There we go. Oops. I suppose I don't need to jump for that. Where'd the other one go? Oh, I broke it and went back in here. All right. There we go. Chiseled. Need that to go on top of these, so that I do need to jump for. Oops. And it is nighttime now, so I'm actually going to show this before I complete the what you call it. So we've got our recipe in here. It's got enough power, so when you have enough power, it shows what it's going to make. So we'll go ahead and oops, right-click that. Great particle effects on Astral Sorcery here. Love how that's done. We did our exchanging gadget, our building gadget. And once this is finished, it will basically just transform the altar that we already have, right? Notice it's got more slots for building things, but also notice that the power bar is red. What that means is that the correct multi-block is not underneath us. Also, if you saw, we learned more about attunement. So now if we open our book, there's another chapter. What we need is we need the rest of the structure here. So we will, oh, I think I am one marble arch shy on what I pulled out of the thing here, but that's okay. We'll make these. Oops. There we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there we go. And now, oops, it is Marble Arches, right? Let's look at our exploration. No, back. Okay, chiseled, pillar, chiseled, bricks, sooty, and arches, right? 28 arches. Let's try breaking and replacing that. There we go. Okay. Notice, again, full power bar. So this is why this is such a nice thing to have here. And if we look at our Astral Tome, we can see the new stuff that we unlocked. Yay, attunement. So attunement is going to do some really neat stuff for us. But in order to get to the material that gets added in the attunement level is the star metal ore, which we get from iron that we shine light on using the linking tool, which we need a collector crystal for again. So, again, good on us for being here in the Astral Temple to start with. All right. It's definitely pretty close to the wrapping up point, so I think we're going to save the next pieces of the Astral Sorcery stuff for the next episode. If you'll notice, we've got our Starlight crafting altar. We're going to make a looking glass, a telescope, and a grindstone. This is for processing rock crystal, which we're not going to do until we get to the next tier of Astral, but we will need it, so we might as well make it. Telescope will let us discover constellations, and we need a looking glass for that. Otherwise, we made some good astral progress here. We also have a hammer that can break everything up to obsidian now, or up to cobalt now, which is great. And we got some building gadgets and exchanging gadget, and those are going to make our building life, the things we want to build, so much easier. I really can't stress enough how much that will improve our life for building things. Even if we just wanted to change all of these walls into bricks or put some other interesting patterns here, we could do that pretty easily using the building gadgets. So, all right, folks, thanks for watching. Next episode, I think we're going to make some more Astral Sorcery stuff. We may get into attunement, although I don't know if we'll have enough time in the next one. Between episodes, I'll probably add a few more light wells and go find some more rock crystal. Just because, mining on camera, not that interesting. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.